Okay, today we're going to be looking at the Schrade Schf10 bushcraft knife and a custom sheath that I made for it. This is the sheath that it comes with. I've done several mods to it. I've actually have another video showing this sheath and discussing the mods that I've done. But it's essentially a really cheap Cordura sheath that it's just got some Velcro here, a little pouch pocket. And it is really cheap. Mine was actually falling apart as soon as I got it before I ever even got a chance to use the knife. So I had to kind of glue it back together, put some Ranger bands on here and stuff. So the way it is now, I actually like the sheath, the original, with these mods. It's kind of small and compact. You can see this one's a little bit longer. It's a nice sheath once you figure out how to make it work for you. But in the meantime, I've also made another sheath for it, so we'll go ahead and kind of discuss that one. Okay, starting out, just kind of the features here. This is a drop leg sheath, so it's got this buckle, but you can just buckle that right into your belt. Okay, and then this will just hang down your leg off your waist. This sheath here, you have to weave your belt through that loop, which is always annoying. This one, it's just got clips, you can take it on and off, no problem. That'll fit pretty much any belt. It's really got a big loop here. And then it's also not tucked right up on your waist. You can see on this one, the handle comes right up to where it sits on your belt. Here, the handle is about 4 inches lower than the belt. So that's why it's a drop leg, because it's hanging down a little bit further. It does have a little piece of Velcro here securing the handle, which secures it very well. Okay, one thing before we take it out I want to look at is you can see that it's kind of angled. The blade or the handle doesn't go straight here. It kind of tilts back. And that accounts for the curve of the knife and the center of gravity, so that when it's hanging from your leg, it's kind of balanced and it's not pulling at a weird angle. So I intentionally offset the angle. You can see it here, it's more pronounced. Instead of the strap coming straight here, it kind of cuts back in the opposite direction. As far as what I use to make the knife, a number of different materials. When it came to sewing, the stitching I used was tarred bank line, which comes in a twist of 3 strands. So I untwisted one of the strands and just used that as thread because it's very strong and water resistant. So you can see here, it's not the cleanest looking sewing job, but this is the back, it doesn't really matter. So I sewed it here to sew on the Velcro, and then sewed it here to sew the strap into the sheath itself. The outer cover of the sheath is leather. It's actually really nice, soft black leather that I scavenged from a laptop case that I got from a thrift store. And you can pick those things up for $3 or $4. They're all leather. You can cut that leather out and use it for little projects. So that's exactly what I did. I didn't even have to sew on this little outer trim here, because that was part of the trim of the bag, and that just works perfectly for this knife. Now, you know, the edge here, you're going to have to find a creative way to do that. I was going to do what I typically do when you sew, which is sew it inside out and then flip it right side in, but this was so thick that didn't really work, and the shape wasn't conducive to that happening. So I had to basically sew it just on the outside, and then it left a really jagged edge. So what I did was just took fabric glue, black fabric glue, and just basically painted the entire edge, and it's a rubberized type of glue. So it completely covers all of the bank line threads, seals it all up, makes it real durable, gives it kind of a rugged look. You know, some people might not like it, but I didn't have a whole lot of options as far as that goes. And it was pretty quick and easy to do that way. So that's what I chose to do for that. Take the knife out, set it right here. Talked about the knife in the other video. It is a really nice knife. Now inside this sheath, you can see there, see like a white inner sheath, and that is the plastic from a milk jug that I cut out, folded over, taped together, and put in the inside of this sheath. And basically what that does is prevents the knife from cutting the inside of the leather. It had cut on the other one because that one doesn't have an inner sheath, although I did put plastic one in there as well. But what will happen is the edge of the blade will start cutting. Every time you take it in and out, it'll start slicing the inner threads. So your knife will come apart from, your sheath will come apart from the inside out. So you need something durable in there. And that's why I chose to put some plastic. So that's a great solution to fix that particular issue. It also makes it more durable. This thing doesn't really bend. It holds shape. So that's why I put that inner sheath in there. And it just slides right in there. Oh, that's another reason why I had to angle it, because you can see that the way the scales are, they're angled. So the knife wouldn't just fit in flush. It has to kind of fit in like this so that the angle of the sheath fits on there. So if you're going to be making custom stuff for your knives or really anything else, you have to factor in, you know, the particular thing you're working with and make sure that you account for any angles and things like that that could throw off your construction, because otherwise you'd end up with something that doesn't quite fit right. And you can even see here on this one, it's angled as well. It's got a little curve there. Wasn't able to curve this, but I could angle it enough to where it fits pretty good. And then it also allows the knife handle to align with this strap. Then you just Velcro it in, and you have yourself a nice little drop leg sheath. So that's just an idea for anyone who wants to make a knife sheath, or specifically owners of the Schrade Schf10 who don't like the sheath that it comes with. You know, you can make something like this if you want. As far as where I got that buckle from, I think that also came from one of the straps on a laptop bag. It's pretty inexpensive to make. I mean, you can make it all from one laptop bag that you just cut up. So that's about $3 or $4 if you get it at a thrift store. And then I did have some Velcro from old sewing projects. You obviously would need bank line and some fabric glue. So even if you had to buy all of the materials from scratch, you can make a custom sheath for under $10. So that's a pretty good deal if you're willing to put in the time and make it. That's going to be pretty much it for this knife. You know, check out the other video that I did reviewing this sheath if you want to learn more about that. I do have a lot more videos coming out on my channel, so if you like it, be sure to click the like button and subscribe to my channel. But I appreciate you watching. Take care.